Alright team, so today we're going to be switching out a TCM on a forward focus. Now the TCM, which is this right here, is the new one. It seems to be like this is a common issue with this generation forward focus. Essentially what the TCM does is takes care of, it's essentially the transmission's brain. While the ECU controls everything, including the TCM, the TCM is actually the thing that actually helps you shift, knows when to go into different gears and stuff like that. So we're on the engine. So the TCM is actually down here. So we're going to have to go ahead and remove the airbox with the hosing. And it's going to be just down here. Kind of hard to see because it's in the little dark, but it's right there. So we're gonna go ahead, like I said, and get this off. Then I'll can go ahead and show you guys exactly where that's at in relation to where I was just pointing. Pretty much all you really need, team, is just a socket set just to get it in there. The only other thing is the TCM has to be programmed, so you do have to use a Ford certified programming tool. So ForScan is what it's called. I will go into more detail on that in a separate video. There are a few things that you have to do to make sure that it's running properly and things are downloaded properly and everything like that. So for now, when it comes to the programming part of it, we'll go ahead and go through the motions and everything for it. I'll go ahead and show you guys how to do that. And then, like I said, in another video, I'll go ahead and dedicate a whole thing on ForScan, how to download it, how to get the product key, and the different options and features that it has. So for now, let's go ahead and start disassembling the airbox and getting to the TCM so we can swap that out. All right, so first we're going to go ahead and remove the cover that's here and get the filter off, and then remove the intake hose that's here. So we'll start with the intake hose, just kind of loosen that up so we can go ahead and wiggle that out. For that socket, it is a 7mm socket. Loose. I'm loosening both ends just to make it a little easier to move around. Okay, now that's all loose. Now we're going to go ahead and get the other bolts that are holding the top part of the housing. Those are actually 8s, so let's go ahead and swap that out. This battery cover tray. All right, so there's 4 of these bolts all in total. One here, pretty much here, here, and then one right here, just under this wiring harness here. So you just pull this up a little bit. There's a little indentation here on the housing. Slide that down. See if we can line up the bolt. Said it's a little tight in here, so just gotta play with it a little. go. Just like that. Put it off to the side. Move the air filter, which we should be replacing, so I'll let the customer know about that. Now, so on the front part of the intake that goes towards the front of the car, there's two little tabs that are right here. So you just kind of pull forward, lift up. That way it's nice and off of it, disconnected. Now we'll go ahead and disconnect the tubing here. This way we can get this out of the way. Just to kind of help out, I'm going to disconnect this line right here. Just push the little blue tab in, lift up. Same thing, there's another evac line right here. So what you do for that one, this one right here, you'll pull this over, make sure that's out of the way, that's the locking part of it, and pull it out. And now that's disconnected. Now the other line, like I was saying, was this one here. Just push that in, pop it out, and it's done. Now there's nothing else connected to this, so this should be all easy to take out. I'm going to go ahead and remove the mass airflow sensor right here. So pull that tab up. Right here you push down. And then pull up, just like that. And there's that here. So remove that out of the way. Also, what we're going to do, we're going to disconnect the negative part of the terminal there, since we are going to be replacing the TCU. So we're going to go ahead and remove that over there, which is the negative, this is the positive. We'll go ahead and take that out from over there. And then kind of go from there. For now though, I want to go ahead and take this out, so that way that's ready. And then I'll go ahead and remove the battery terminal. Make sure nothing else is connected. Shouldn't be. Take the hose off. Just like that. This should just pop straight out. Like that. Front part of that. And that's it. Get this out of the way. All right, since it's under the shroud right here, we can get a regular wrench. Just undo it that way. Now that it's loose, just wiggle and pop it out. Just like that. Now put it up here where it's plastic. It's not making a connection with any metal. This way we don't blow a fuse or anything like that, or possibly do some more damage to the vehicle. So now that that's disconnected, now TCM is right here. So we just have to get down here, move these wires out of the way, get the bolts that are on here. So like it quick before you start doing anything, just come over to the new one, and we can see that it has 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once we get those 4 bolts out, these will be inside the actual transmission. Then it's just disconnecting the connections that are here, and then that's it. I'm putting the new one in. So let's go ahead and start getting that going. One thing I did want to mention too is make sure that the engine is nice and cool. Like especially coming down here, it's all warm and everything. So you want to definitely make sure it's cool enough to the touch, so that way you can go ahead and get that all out safely without hurting yourself or anything like that. So let's go ahead and get rid of some of those wires, and then get those 4 bolts out of there. All right, so we're gonna remove this bolt here. That one is a 13 millimeter. Okay, so the bolt is connected to the connection here, so there's no way we should be able to lose that. So let's go ahead and just tuck that out of the way. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and remove this bolt right here. That's an 8 millimeter, which is going to take out this whole assembly here, which is give us better access to the TCM there. Still pretty tight on there, so let's go ahead and get some more. There we go. There, so we're gonna go put it up here so we don't lose it. This whole piece there. Down there, and like I said, there's the TCM right there. So these 2 connections here, we'll go ahead and remove. This hose right there's on a little connection right there, just kind of hold it. So we're gonna move this out of the way, just like that. Just go ahead and pull it, and then move it up. That way we have more access to everything. So like I told you, there's 4 bolts here. So there's one there, and just go around the body. Another one right here. Just going back down. Another one there, and then further up. So you got to take these connections off here. So let me see what the best angle is to go ahead and attack this at, and then I'll get back with you guys. All right, here's the connection pulled off. So this little tab right here, you'll push that down. This little lever will be over it. So you'll push that down and then pull up. And then after you get into this position, it'll be still locked into the TCM. Just wiggle, 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 and pull out. And it's the same exact thing for the bottom. Now the bottom gave me a little bit of trouble, so just take your time. You don't want to break these connections. Take your time, push the button, lift the little gray tab, wiggle, 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 and then pull. Just take your time and then you'll be able to get that out. So now you should be able to go ahead and get the bolts out to remove the old TCM. So let's go ahead and get that all situated and go. All right, so other than removing the bolts, first thing I want to do is these harnesses disconnected from the TCM. So just go ahead and follow the tab here. And as you can see, this one right here, just holding it in there, should be able to just pull this out. Actually, I'm sorry, and this one down here. Now right here, this connection is right to the TCM. So just like that, pull that out, move the connection out of the way. Now you have full access to the TCM and the 4 bolts. So there's one. So we just follow along the lip. There's one here, up here on the top. Go along the bottom. There's 4 all together. Another one way down here. One right here. And then the last one right there. So those should be 10 millimeter. Which they are. So we'll go ahead and start putting this going. So let me put you guys down here, see if I can get you guys to actually see what I'm doing. And forward. Now this one towards the back is smaller than the rest of them, so you want to make sure you put this one back where you pulled it out from. So when I put it with the other ones, I'm going to put it at the end, because that'll be the last one that I'm going to go ahead and do from there. Alright, so now this wiggle should come out just like that. Oh, looks like I still have a cable connection on here, so let me undo that and then pull this out and then be right back with you guys. So after you pull out the TCM, you want to make sure that these little gaskets come out with it. If not, they're still stuck inside the holes that are down here. So definitely you want to make sure we get those out. So right there, these 2 holes, that's where the TCM goes. I'm still in there. I don't feel another one in here for the second one, but there's nothing in there. But each one of those holes actually has one, so definitely want to make sure that those aren't in there or stuck, and that your new TCM ends up having a new one. So here's the new one. I'll put those new gaskets on there right there. Here's the old one. Been gases then come out, so I want to make sure we're good when it comes to that. So pretty much at this point, it's reverse installation. But first, you want to make sure that everything matches up, it all looks the same. Yeah, everything looks right. Same shape, same size. It's like down here, the serial number, part numbers are the same. The only thing that appears to be different is this stamp here, which I'm assuming is the stamp that they use for when they made it. It is a General Ford product, so everything else matches up. All the numbers, same sizes, same size teeth here and here. So before we install this one, make sure you put some transmission fluid, so ATF fluid on these. Never want to put them in dry, they just wear out faster. It's just easier to go ahead and do that. So let me go get that fluid and then I'll be right back. All right, now that we got the rings all set up and good, let's go ahead and get this back in, this new one in. So again, take your time. Make sure those teeth line up with the holes, as well as everything else. So as you can see, I'm having a hard time getting the bottom one in. And that's because of the teeth at the bottom. So let's go ahead and just rotate it a little bit, just so we can see if we can slide that in there. There we go, just like that. So for now, I'm gonna hand tighten all the bolts, because there is a certain sequence you have to go to reattach these. So, like I said before, I'm gonna leave the short one for last. We'll get the other ones in here. And now the last one, the short one. Remember, it's off to the side. Just find the hole, guide it in. All right, now we'll go ahead and torque it in the proper sequence. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and tighten everything up. So what we're gonna do, let's start here with the short bolt. Oh, let's get the extension off. Basically, what you want to do is almost just like how you do a tire. So what we're going to do, we're going to get the short bolt, then we're going to go not to the all the way the bottom bolt, but to this bolt right here. Then we'll come up, go to this bolt here, and then we'll go to the bottom bolt there. This way it all goes evenly. And it's flush all the way around. So obviously, if you have an electric ratchet, this job makes it a lot faster, but you can do it hand tools. right, now here we are connected back again, nice and tight. Everything's down. So now it's just putting everything back together and then going through with the reprogramming. So let's go ahead and get this back together. TCM there. So now we're gonna go ahead, put the airbox back on. Then that other little piece that we took off earlier to be able to get access to it. So for now, let's go ahead and get that going. Take the bolt. Should we line this right up? Alright, that's in there nice and tight. Now we'll go ahead and get this wire. Well, actually, we can take this tube and put it back where it went. There, just tighten that up a little bit more here in a second. And tie that. Remember, this is a 13 millimeter. Go, snug it up nice and tight. Next, let's go ahead and get the airbox on. Make sure we're not pinching any wires or anything like that. The hose back on. Make sure all this gets lined up. Push it down, make sure it's nice and tight. Put the air filter back in. Sure that's lined up nice and straight, so that way when we put the top on, it goes in properly. Just like that. Just line everything up. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead, bolt those down. Leave. Should work. And we're just snugging these up because it's plastic and we don't want to break it. And the last one. Oh. Now we'll tighten the clamps for the hose. Okay. Let's take the extension off of this. Okay, nice and tight. So now we'll go ahead and connect the battery. There is a bunch of corrosion on here, so normally you want to go ahead and clean that off, but I don't have any of the stuff to be able to go ahead and get that corrosion off. So the next time I do a service on our vehicle, I'll make sure to have it. Just put it in. Now we'll tighten it. That should be nice and tight. Yep, it's not going anywhere. Okay. So now we got to go ahead and program the new TCM. So like I mentioned before, I'm going to go ahead and do a separate video on ForeScan, how to get it, how to go ahead and get the product key, how to use it. It's not very difficult to use. It can be a little tricky at times to go ahead and use the programming. So you want to make sure that you're going to go ahead and do it correctly. Otherwise, you can essentially disable your vehicle if you're not doing it correctly. So again, we'll go ahead and do a separate video on that, just a little more in detail, so that way you guys can actually know how to do it properly and correctly and not do anything with your vehicle that could possibly damage it. So that's pretty much it, team. So for now, this is just the installation part of the TCM. Just go ahead, and might be a little bit longer to get the programming part of it out. But like I said, I want to make sure you get the proper amount of detail when it comes to it, so you're doing it properly. but that will be coming out here soon. There might be another video or two that might come out before that, but again, this part of the video was just for installation of the TCM module itself. Then we'll do a whole separate video on the programming aspect of it and everything from there. So if you guys did find this video helpful, team, please by all means give me a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. It's the best way for me to know that I'm actually helping you guys work on your vehicles and to save you some money. So again, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.